This is Curtis at Aceperhead Studios coming at you with another sports talk, going over the Falcons, wrapping up a good draft. Now, some of you saw my videos on the Falcons, and I really wanted that trade back. I wanted to trade back by 4 for you guys, stack up the picks. Didn't happen. You guys grabbed Pitts, and you know what? As much as you needed defensive help and maybe offensive line and all the extra picks and everything like that, with what you had available, you did an excellent job. Now, people are saying, well, we really didn't need Pitts. You have Ridley, you have Julio, what are you getting Pitts for? And the thing is, a bunch of you fans commented and said, you're going to be unstoppable. And it's going to be very difficult to stop you guys. And sometimes, you know what? It's not about having no weaknesses. Sometimes it's just overwhelming opponents with intense amount of strength and advantage. Look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was aggressive. He got in there. Power punches take you out early. Now, if it went to later rounds, there was problems. But he had Hall of Fame career, one of the greatest careers in boxing history, based on a strength of attacking, power, speed. Now, Ryan was the right quarterback. I'm happy you built around him. And Pitts has such a great shot to be amazing. And he's not just a tight end. I mean, just think. Ridley, Julio, Pitts, and then Hayden. You guys have the weapons. And what you did after that really was very, very solid to help refine your team. Pitts, obviously, in the first. Richie Grant. Good quality line of scrimmage safety who's very smart, a little small, a little slow, but he brings excellent physicality. And he definitely fills a need for your team. And that was pulled in the second round, and that was after a trade back, which you acquired a 4th round pick for and used to pick up a quality piece. So I really like that pick. And then in the third, you got Jalen Mayfield, the tackle, who I think is really going to end up being a guard. And then with that first 4th, you got Darren Hall, a cornerback. And then with the 4th, I believe, one of those 2 4s. Well, with that extra 4th, you got Drew Dalman. Okay. Then in the 5th, Taquan Graham, DT. Abe Agundeye, I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. It is what it is. DE, Avery Williams, cornerback, and Frank Darby, wide receiver. Now, for I'm not a draftnik. I don't know all the players. I kind of study some of them. Just from the 5th round back, you added some needs. Whether they're players to make it or not, who really knows? It's a crapshoot at that point. But I liked Richie Grant because he filled it. Your secondary has a lot of holes, and it's not going to be fixed this year. But he does bring a good presence. And I liked Jalen Mayfield. Big, 6'5", 320, and power. Now, he was billed as a tackle, but he's going to slide inside. When you look at your O-line, Caleb McGarry is 6'8". He's not sliding inside, and he was a starter. So he's going to start. Matthews is going to be able to tackle. You got 9th best guard in the league, Lindstrom. So he's going to come in. I say more than likely, Mayfield's going to play right guard. He's going to come in and be your right guard. And you had a huge hole at center. And Drew Dalman, who you took in the 4th, little small, 6'1", 299. And I was like, I don't know if that's a good hit. But when you look at his bio and you dig into him deeper, he runs the outside zones very well. And a bunch of scouts said that he's very pigeonholed to a specific scheme, but in that scheme he could thrive. So it looks like the new staff is going to maintain some of the old protocols from the prior teams. Those outside runs. Looks like you're going to stick with like that smaller defense. So you really upgraded your offensive line, which we all know is critical to all these fine pieces that you have that you're going to be able to operate with. So I really, really like that. And then Darren Hall, he's small corner, not fast, but smart. Looks like he's going to be like a nickel kind of guy, come in there, and maybe eventually he'll get even put to a fourth corner. But because you guys are so such a dearth at cornerback, that this was a good, like I said, you're not fixing the defense this year. This is all about taking it to the house, running with what brung you, an overwhelming offense. And a little funny story as I was a kid. I had a friend. He's like the rich kid in the neighborhood, Artie Most. And he always had the cool toys, the computers. He had the best computer. So, I would always walk home with him and we would play on his computer. It was a great time, good guy back then. And he had a brother, Edmund. We'd always walk home and we played this one game. I remember it. I wish some of you older guys might remember this game. I don't know. I'd love to play it again. It was like Monsters, Inc. or something. And the game was you had to design a monster and then you scrap it out in like a gladiatorial arena type thing. And then, it's basically like a boxing game. But, you had weapons and you could make all different kinds of monsters, and you had a certain number of points. So you could have to like use those points. And so I made this guy. He was like a lion bear guy called the Ravager of the Worlds. And I really didn't give him any weaknesses. He was a little fast. He was pretty tough and he was stronger, but not the strongest. But he had no real weaknesses, but he had a little bit in the strength there. And that was like and he carried his mace, this big, and bash people over the head. Real fun. So Artie and I were very competitive. Very, very competitive. So every day we'd walk home, we'd play. And I made this guy that, like I said, the Ravager of the Worlds, and I couldn't be beaten. And this went off like 2 or 3 weeks. So we'd come home and it started becoming an obsession with Artie. His brother, who's like, Artie was like a big square dude, and his brother was like this skinny little chirpy guy. And he'd always make fun of his brother on the way home for losing in Monsters, Inc., if that was the name of the game. So we'd walk home, and he'd be like, come on, let's play. And week after week, I kept winning. And the obsession was so much. One day we're walking home, after tormenting him for like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. And he's like, I'm going to beat you today. I got your number. It was his game, So he was like crunching the numbers and all that stuff. I was like, all right, sure. Let's go. Let's rock and roll, baby. I'm the Ravager of the Worlds. I can't be beat. So anyway, he makes this Tyrannosaurus Rex dude who's all about power and strength. And my Ravager of the Worlds, we couldn't handle it. It just overwhelmed my character. And that single asset took the championship. Now, funny story is the next day I had an epiphany. Walked home, he was smiling in his glory, man. He was going to carry the trophy for weeks to come. Long story short, I decided to make the smallest character a mosquito. And the mosquito would shoot this little thing, this little needle blast. He would drop his points, and he was laughing, I'm going to get you. But he couldn't catch me. Slowly but surely, he would see his health bar going down, and his brother's like an imp dancing behind him. No, Artie! I am laughing. His brother's mocking him. Slowly but surely, the Tyrannosaurus Rex lost. He had it for a day. Took the title with my mosquito. Dropped the control thing before it even battle was over and ran off. Now, I know it was a long story, but I thought it was a pretty good one. You can win with great strength. Eventually, the weakness will get exposed. But that's just this year. The Falcons will overwhelm teams with offense. It could be enough to get the division. It could be enough to get to the playoffs. It could be enough to even go to the champ. You don't know. When you have one great strength, it could take you very far. And so Matty Ice is still a quality quarterback. Your defense will ultimately get exposed at some point this year. But the reality is you picked fourth. If you can get those 8 10 wins just based on an amazing offense. Think what happens next year when you draft. When you look over your draft, there's some quality picks here. That little trade back you had in the second round, you were able to acquire the center you needed. And you were able to also pick up the safety you needed. That was some quality gamesmanship. And as I said, I think for you guys, it bodes well. We don't know. It's all a crapshoot. Who knows? Pitts could end up being the worst player in the universe. We don't know. But from outside, with just what we have to look at, it was a quality draft. Okay? And I think you guys should hold your head up high. I would be looking forward to the season. And if this does turn out to be the way we view it as a quality draft, just think about next year when you're taking those picks and you're investing them squarely on the defense. So I'd be very proud if I was Atlanta Falcon fans. As I said, I've been doing a lot of videos on you guys. I'm kind of rooting for you now. I'm very looking forward to seeing this offense. Going to definitely watch film on it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the 2021 draft. As I said, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed what you've seen. And comments mean the most. I want to hear from you guys. I really appreciate that. It helps me round out my football knowledge. So be well, and I'll catch you next time. This is Curtis saying farewell.